Hello, I hope you are well. Today we're going to be talking about air pollution, so let's get started. So remember what pollution is. Pollution, the whole overview of that word is the contamination of the Earth's land, water, or air by liquids. Harmful liquids, harmful chemicals, heat, light, and even noise. And those causes are from, specifically for air pollution, is using natural resources and burning fossil fuels. Okay, so there's two types of pollution. There's a point source pollution and a non-point source pollution. So point source is a specific source that can be identified. So we could easily see that that source of pollution is from this certain spot. For example, that could be a sewer that drains into a river, or it could be a factory that's letting out harmful chemicals to the air. And then a non-point source is widespread, and it can't be linked to a specific origin, so we can't really figure out where that source of pollution is coming from. So, for example, that could be the overall polluted air in a city. It could be just litter on a beach. All of those things are considered non-point sources. So they're widespread. They can't really be linked to a specific origin. Okay, so you can't really point it out. So for air pollution, there's both indoor and outdoor air pollution. So first we're going to talk about outdoor air pollution. So outdoor air pollution is caused by emissions, which are pollutants released into the air. So for example, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide from factories. It could be from burning coal, fuel power plants, and also cars or motor vehicles that we use every day. So in this GIF, the first one with the purple is showing all of these different types or different sources of emissions that are released into the air. Okay. So increased carbon dioxide levels are contributing to the global warming and climate change. We already knew that. But there's also some natural sources, so not human-made sources, that can contribute to this outdoor air pollution, and that's from volcanic eruptions. Okay, so those release carbon dioxide, and forest fires. Okay, so those two natural sources are also releasing emissions, but they aren't really developed from humans. Okay, and so when we see outdoor air pollution, we can typically think of that brown, thick haze over certain cities, and that brown, thick haze is called smog. Okay, so when the sunlight reacts with these gases, it creates that thick, you could hardly see the buildings in that city that's on this slide right there. And then it also causes respiratory problems, and it could cause diseases of both the eyes and the throat. So we breathe in that smog. We're seeing through that smog, so our eyes are contaminated with that as well. So it may cause issues with those things. Okay. So when we also think of outdoor air pollution, there's also a type of oxygen called ozone. So it's a form of oxygen that's toxic to us, but there's also an ozone layer, if you've heard of it, that's high up in the sky. So when it's high up, that means it's good. It's actually protecting us from harmful rays. But when ozone is lowered and closer to us as a population, that's when it's toxic to us. Okay, so it's able to reach us and cause issues. And that's caused by thermal inversion. So warm air gets trapped between layers of cold air, and that warm air traps those pollutants and traps the ozone, making it more concentrated, making the pollutants more concentrated and dangerous for us. So thermal inversion is bad. This air pollution could also cause acid rain. That's when precipitation that's more acidic, so there's a lower pH. And that could cause organisms to die. It could remove nutrients minerals in the soil, so it's affecting plant life, it's affecting the plant growth, and it also could damage stone and metal and deteriorate those things. So as we could see here, there's a picture from 1908, and at the same statue, you could see that acid rain deteriorated this stone from only a few years. Okay, and also right here you could see that acid rain caused a whole forest to sadly die off. Okay, so now let's talk about indoor air pollution. So typically when we think of air pollution, we think about the outside, but there's also things on the inside of our homes that can affect us. So there's allergens, which can include from dust to mold, pet hair. So if you have some pet hair, you could be allergic to those. So glue and paint, so cleaning supplies are all harmful to us, and even tobacco smoke. Okay, so if you smoke inside or a family member smokes inside, that could cause air pollution inside of the home. There's also a gas called radon, and that's an odorless and a colorless gas that is actually found in rock, and it seeps through our foundation of the houses. So if there's a crack in the foundation, radon can also come through that crack and cause issues for us. So that could cause lung cancer. Then there's also a more common one, carbon monoxide. That's formed when like carbon-based fuels, so natural gas, if you're burning oil or wood, all of those things can cause carbon monoxide to be trapped inside our homes, and it's super harmful for us. Okay, so here are some signs of carbon monoxide poisoning. Again, it's pretty common, so it's important to know these signs. It's also important to have a carbon monoxide alarm that is working in your home, so you know when that carbon monoxide is at a high level and it might affect you. Okay, so it might be some headaches, some nausea, you might feel dizzy or breathless, and then you could also collapse and lose consciousness. So how do we control this air pollution? We could try to reduce emissions. So on a personal level, we could use fuel-efficient electric vehicles, or carpool, so using electric cars, or carpooling with a friend. You could bike to places instead of using your car, so if things are close by, you might want to bike there instead of getting driven there. And using energy-efficient appliances that limit their emissions. Okay. You could also change your energy uses. Again, you might use alternate energy sources, so like solar power or hydroelectric power, or you might just use those energy efficient appliances. We could also protect the ozone layer. So again, ozone that's high in the atmosphere works like a shield to protect us from UV rays. But sadly, there's an ozone hole due to a group of gases that destroy the ozone molecules and causes more radiation to reach the planet. So we should protect them by limiting our aerosols, again using energy efficient appliances, and limiting our air conditioner usage. That's it. That's all I have for air pollution. I hope this helps, and thanks for watching.